So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to everybody out there in the world who likes and subscribes and shares these videos with friends and everything else. I really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you. You're all my new friends, my best friends. So thank you so much for that. There's something I was going to point out in terms of Tezos. Oh, I was looking at Fibonacci extensions earlier. Yes, so check out the video by TradeSpot, by the way, yesterday. If you want to see if you want to see an introduction to risk management and stuff like that, I recommended it in yesterday's video. Recommend it today. Great video. Check out that TradeSpot. I'm going to link to it in the description down below. But I wanted to point out this here that Tezos said recently. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'd appreciate that too. Whatever, who cares? I'm just starting all this stuff. But Tezos have said that they're doing a sort of they're soliciting questions from the community on a weekly basis. If you have a question, both to Agora or Reddit, links below, and we will do our best to answer in this week's update. So there's a lot of people out there who've got questions about Tezos and where they're going, and of course, I love talking about it with people in the comments. But there's a little sort of channel for people who are interested to get more answers, perhaps back if you've got questions about Tezos from the foundation themselves. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Let's take a look at Tezos then, and where we have been and where we're going. And we're in this area here. I got asked the question: are we consolidating? What are we doing? We're going sideways just above this 236 moving Fibonacci retracement. That's good to see that we're kind of it's good to see in a sense that we've made it above here. We're not breaking back down below it. We're consolidating, sort of getting ourselves sorted out here, and it gives and we can maybe think about coming in here and we never went into the oversold area here on the stochastics. We never actually tried and tested off the bullish control zone quite yet. So there's opportunities ahead for us in terms of doing bullish things, which would be quite good to be doing in and around other times, like going through the 382 moving at Fibonacci retracement as well, and things like that. But we'll not get too carried away, because the negative thing can also be said that we haven't really done that great overall. We've not gone up and made higher highs quite yet, haven't made this one. We've not done enough really to say necessarily that we have. Would you say that we've got a higher low in quite yet? It's a bit tough to say. So got a 21 moving average below us. We could come down and test it again, at 27440. So there's still price action and movement to be had around here, and you want to see these things operating a bit more positively. Of course, this is still the sort of the downward trend that we've been in, and anything until the prices, we can talk about things over here being better than the price now being better than over here. That's good and all, but until we're above the 382 here, where we see the previous price action operating at 3062, you can't really get really bullish on the bigger time frame yet, because we're still not putting in anything other than a lower high. So we're going to see a higher high coming in. That would be above that 3080 level, and then be more convincing and get up towards 3300, 3500 again, and then we can start talking about the bullish trend and looking for proper divergences and asking if we're in the oversold area and how we responded to the bullish control zone. Right now we're doing a good enough thing consolidating in this area, but again, of course, this could still ultimately go either way. Looking over at the USD prices, we're inside this channel. We have been for quite a while. We're coming up towards the median line where the 50 simple average is. Will we test that in at $2.10, $2.15, and then maybe be able to put in a higher high than the previous high over here at $2.10 really on the daily time frame? That would be good to see. If we could get a 215 sort of close on this thing, then we'd be sort of continuing the trend to the other upside, and that would be good. Ultimately, if we don't make it above the 50 simple moving average, then we're not putting in anything other than a lower high, and it's the same sort of chat as before. I want to see, of course, the prices maintain themselves obviously above 182 and the $2 flat area, which is where we find ourselves just now. We want to see ourselves being able to see Tezos be able to maintain itself above that area, and then we can look towards this again and start asking. But at the minute, is there between the highs on this area, there's no real divergence to there's no divergence on the oscillators down below, so that's a good thing. We're kind of we're performing well enough in the shape of things. We broke out of this triangle, we came up, we retested off the bottom of it, which happens to be where the channel now exists. As a result, if you can understand how I've got this line and this line formed that this ascending triangle before, but of course now this line and this line form the top. It's form the top and bottom of a channel, and that all adds up when you take a measure move off of here and stick it here. You can see it all adds up. So that's what we're looking for, and I'm not going to get super bullish about this coin until we're above 230. The first protocol along the way is to sort of 215, then 230, then we can start thinking about bullish targets towards the upside. Otherwise, you know, we could, if we break down below 180, the could fake out territory, I suppose, could go all the way down to 170, 169, and then we'd be looking at 150 as well as being the next sort of target for potential turnaround, because over here we've got the 786 where we know that we could turn around at, and we'd be putting in anything up to that point would be kind of potentially a higher low in terms of the daily time frame. So that's what we're looking at. Obviously, actually don't want to see the prices drop below 155 really. If they close below 155, that could be a lower low, and that would be kind of negative, and I would obviously look at 150, 148 and be questioning if we went below there, then we could easily go down to 130 and stuff like that. So that's all getting very carried away. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Thank you for everything. And let's just see how things go. And of course, share this video with a friend if you've got one that you think would like it. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody who comments and all that jazz. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not sure if I've been clear or not in this one, but we're kind of just going along okay. Want to see the prices go up above 215, or else we've not got a higher high end, but it doesn't need to happen today. No, it doesn't need to happen today. In terms of what we want to not see happen over the next couple of days is for prices to go below the $2, and we're right about there at the minute. We don't want to see the prices go below $2 and continue to sink down. And if they go past 185, things are looking negative. But if they go below $2 and stay above 185, that's okay. Should we actually ultimately get in 215 before going any lower than 185? It's kind of how I'm thinking about things. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next episode. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.